Things like Pupajaji, I represent Panoramic Synergy Enterprise. And just going to continue with our Odoo Fundamentals series. Last time we made a video as regards the purchase and sales basics. This time we will go ahead to show you a few demonstrations about the accounting module in Odoo and a few things you can do. If you're watching this video from YouTube, please do well to subscribe and like, and you can leave a comment at the end of the video. Now, going straight to the demo. The accounting module, so far I'm just going to show you the overview. The accounting module is very wide, so I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of some of the major aspects of the module and give you a brief demo on the accounting basics, the bills and invoices, bank statements, and the reconciliation. And these are some of the few things that we'll be going through today. And in subsequent videos, we'll try to cover up the other aspects of the module, which will be beneficial. So I'm going to take you straight to the database, and this is the accounting module. Now, the first page that will come across is the accounting dashboard. Now, what we have here on our screen is just a brief analysis of what our database contains. Now, our database generally contains some accounting information, some transactions that might have been carried out, and what Odoo does, it just shows you a brief rundown of what you have in your ledger accounts, and affects your reporting, your profit and loss, and maybe as it may apply to your business. This is the overview, and we have the customer tab here. We also have the vendors tab, the accounting, reporting, and configuration. For today, we'll be focusing on the customer, the vendor, as well as the reconciliation that might go on. Now, first of all, we go straight into the invoicing. Now, generally, invoicing is just is between it's a transaction between yourself and your customer. So invoicing is just a document that stipulates that your customer is supposed to pay you a certain amount of money. And under the invoicing tab, you can find that you have so many invoices that have been created. One that has just been created today, and it's going to show you the status on the right as the payments status as well. So we'll take you to Wood Corner, one I created today. It's going to show us some basic information, and generally the process is for us to just list out the products that our customer must have inquired or probably bought, and we just invoice them on that product, the quantity, the price. We automatically totals the prices according to the quantity as well. And also, if there are any applicable taxes, we do also apply. It can be edited. You can add more products. You can add a section, probably an information that might apply to this particular invoice. You can add the invoice date, today. You can also add the due date, and as well as the payment time on this invoice. If you want to pay immediately, and maybe in 15 days, that may be applied to your customer. Now, basically, this is just what it looks like, and we're going to go ahead to confirm this. It's going to change the status will keep updating itself as it goes. So confirm this draft, that means it will posted into the accounting books. Now that we have this saved in our accounting books, what Odoo will do next is to ask us to register a payment. That is, if our customer has eventually decided to pay this invoice, can go on to register this payment, and Odoo ask us where we want to receive the money, bank, cash, how much the customer is actually paying. By default, Odoo fixing the amount, the total amount that is due by the customer. However, you can as well put in an alternative amount. For instance, probably your customer decides to pay less than that, maybe a part payment for now, let's say about 200. Odoo will recognize that this is a part payment, and it will ask you if you want to keep open the remaining difference, that is, if you still want to receive it, or you want to mark this invoice as fully paid. Now, if you decide to mark this invoice as fully paid, it's going to ask you what you want to post the difference to, maybe a discount account or a withheld tax, or just want to write it off as a bad debt, different options that may apply to your accounting processes and this particular transaction. But let's just go with the simple scenario, just invoice the full amount, which is 48,500. So we create payments and we receive it in the bank. Odoo is asking me register the payment, and I'm going to create the payment now. So Odoo is going to automatically put that in payment. Now, this doesn't automatically mean that we have the money. Odoo, compared to previous versions, version 13, Odoo would put a label paid rather than in payment. Now, in payment means most likely it is due for reconciliation. Now, if I were to go back to the dashboard, it's going to show that no invoice are due. However, it's going to show me an outstanding payment. This is 448,500 naira that I just validated. It is an outstanding payment because it is in the ledger account, but we have to validate this payment using a bank statement or a reconciliation model. Now, before I show you how reconciliation might go, I'm going to go ahead and show you payments as well, payments to vendors. Now, I showed you that of customers. You can send a credit note in case of overbilling. You can decide to make payments directly, that if these payments will show you payments that have been made on your invoices, and being the latest one will appear at the top. We also have follow-up reports. That is for customers who are currently owing, and Odoo allows for follow-up reports. That's for different actions that you might want to take. Products that you have in your database for sale, Odoo is going to compute that as well, and it's going to show you your customers based on those that you've invoiced in the past. Same thing goes for the vendors. You have bills, you have refunds, you have receipts, you have payments, and employee expenses. This has to do with expenses that must have been carried out by the employee from his or her pocket that might be due for reimbursement. We also have vendors, which will also show you list of vendors that you might have been billed by. So I'm just going to go straight to bills, and same, just similar to the invoicing. We can see that it shows us the vendors, it shows the status of particular bills that we are yet to pay, or those that have been posted and those that have been paid. We could toggle this and show payment status. And so the payment status shows that we've not paid about 3 of our bills. We've paid about 4 of them, and we can go ahead to pay this particular bill. Let's just go ahead to pay this. Now, this is how it looks like when you want to pay a bill. You can create references, you can attribute it to a particular account, you can put quantity, you can put the price. It's just a way of showing how you can create expenses for your business, for your database and your accounting process that you need apply. And the general items will show you where these accounts are going to be debited and credited, and other information as they may apply. to this transaction. As you can see, the sales is posted. All we need to do is register a payment, which is for us to pay this amount, and we can decide to pay using bank, or if we decide to pay using cash. Well, for instance, let's just same thing will apply here. If we decide to put a lesser amount, it asks us if we want to write us amount, and Odoo allows for part payment and all. So we can just decide to create the total amount, and it again is going to show in payment. And we'll take it back to the dashboard. Notice I use the cash to pay, so the outstanding won't go to the bank, but it will go to the cash dashboard, where it's going to show me that I have an outstanding of about 3,450 naira to reconcile with my cash book. So generally that's how receiving and paying money goes about. Now we can decide to reconcile some of our amounts that's usually the primary source of our reconciliation for the bank statement, and the primary source for the cash has to do with the regular cash register. So for instance, we want to reconcile that of the bank, so I'm just going to click on this bank, name of the bank, whatever bank name I apply, and it's going to show me previous statement I must have created. Now it's going to show me the starting balance, it's going to show me the ending balance. If I decide to create one, it's going to, the starting balance for the one I just created is going to be the ending balance of this. So I'm just going to create that, and yes, there we have it. So what's the reference here is for us to be asking for this, and the reference that might apply to how we want to reference this particular bank statement, and reference is 2021 to so I'm going to add a line and the dates that applies to whatever transaction you're trying to reconcile. Yes. The label, I can decide to use the label of let's say payments. That was invoice. And I'm going to attach the concerned customer. Now if I do this, Odoo will be able to reconcile it with the receivables and the partners account. Or subsequent videos I will show you how that works. And the amount also is going to be 448,000. That was the amount. So automatically it's going to compute the balance. However, if I were to add another line and it is about payment, that is me paying using my bank statement, the amount I'm going to type in here would be, for instance, would be in the minus. For instance, assuming I paid the root caller 448,500. I'm just going to put a minus here, and Odoo recognize it as a payment. So that's how it works out. So you can decide to put payment, you can decide to put in money. So for this instance, we received this amount and it's computed the balance that is supposed to show in our bank statement. We can also add maybe a bank charges, that might apply to our banks and bank statements. And well, it doesn't apply to any partner or any customer. We can just leave that empty, and bank charges you can put that on maybe 100. That's so what Odoo expects us to do now is update our ending balance. If I try to save it, Odoo will ask me that the ending balance is not equal to the computed balance. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. After copying and pasting this, I can go ahead and save it, and after saving, I'm required to post it. So the moment I post it, the status is changed from new to processing. So posting it will give me an option, a new option that says reconcile. Now reconciling means that okay, it is recognized two transactions from this bank statement now, and they are also reconcilable with some transactions that I must have carried out in this database. So I can go ahead to reconcile. Now Odoo recognizes that I can validate my payment by Wood Corner to this particular invoice, the invoice Wood Corner. So once I validate this, that is reconciled. However, the bank fees, the bank charges wasn't a transaction I created earlier. So what I can do is to manually write it off. I can manually write it off and choose an account. I probably might have created an account for bank charges. I can manually write it off into bank fees account. Now, once I do this, Odoo recognize that yes, it is expense that could be reconciled. And after doing that, it's all done reconciling, and it takes it just takes few seconds, and we could as well reconcile everything as long as they are reconcilable and attached to a particular transaction. Now, I can decide to close the statement. I can decide to go back to the bank statement, going back to the bank statement. Now, I can show the status. You can see the status is still processing. However, if I were to go back and validate, once it is validated, it cannot be re-edited, meaning that I cannot add anything, I cannot change anything. I'm just going to have it as some documents. For instance, I go to the ones I created earlier, and you can see I can only reset it to processing, but I can't do anything here again. You can see this shows some items in the previous bank statement. So same thing goes for this bank statement that I just created. It has to show that after validating, it can't be edited anymore, and it's going to update itself, showing that there are no standing balances to be reconciled. So the same thing goes for the cash and the cash register. An outstanding balance of 3,450 and 70. Just gonna put that somewhere here. So 3,450 cover, pardon me. So what Odoo wants us to do is just create, maybe this is a cash reference, cash register. For some reference, it's going to show me starting balance, it's going to show me ending balance, and I have some outstanding to go there. So I may just decide to, show some, whatever the label might be, just put the outstanding. Pick partner, it may apply. I didn't stick into the partner, but I can just put the whole amount outstanding, 4,000. Also add another line as to do with the 10,000 naira. Now notice that this outstanding is actually a payment, so just once that is done, we do automatically compute that. So I can have this as the current balance in my card. I can just so you have an opportunity to count this as Odoo ask you, okay, how many coin bills do you have? Probably how many 1,000 naira notes do you have? How many 500 naira notes do you have? It's going to just calculate this and probably confirm it, but it's not compulsory to do that here. So you can just save this and post, and same thing goes. You can also decide to reconcile these two transactions as they may apply. So I could write this 10,000 naira up to the bank. That's where I can transfer was made from, and I can just pick one and more than one transaction. I can pick more than one transaction as they may apply, and probably write off the remaining amount and as an opening balance. Odoo just recognizes that you can add more than one amount that might just need to be reconciled, and just go ahead and close the statement. Well, for this, yeah, I can decide to close the statement, but the process is done right. So yeah, so here we have reconciled the cash register, was reconciled the bank statement. This is how the process of payments and reconciling those payments in your bank statement and your cash register goes. And I hope you were able to enjoy this. And if you have any questions, please leave those questions. Any questions, drop your comments down below in the comment section. If you have any other area that I might have skipped and you want me to go through it, please leave me, just send me a message, and we'll create another video explaining and showing you more. So subsequent videos might come up, and I will show you how the accounting module can help your business. Thank you. Have a lovely day.